Namaste everyone. How are you all?
Namaste.
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 How are you all doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm good too. Thank you. Okay, so let's see any comfortable phone and close your eyes. Now we'll see time home together. That in. Join your hands together in front of your heart center. Now bend your head forward. Open your eyes while blinking. And namaste to everyone. Okay, so yesterday we talked about forward bend or back bend. We talked about back bend, I think so.
You talked the backward bend.
What did we talk?
Bhujangasana and Urdhva Mukha Svanasana. The
Did we talk
network
about back bend or back bend?
No. Network is really bad.
We were saying about cobra pose and the upward facing dog.
Okay, so yesterday we talked about back bend. Today we will go further to other pose. Let's talk about triangle pose. I think we have already done this before. Yes, Jane. Did we talk about back triangle pose?
We spoke about it, I think, in the first lesson. We covered it a bit, yes, but it's never going to be too much, so we can cover it again.
Okay.
I was going to say, I think I watched the recorded one, but I wasn't part of the class.
Okay. So do you want to discuss about that posture or you
Yes,
want?
yes, please. Yes,
Okay.
please.
Okay, so let's do triangle pose. So what do you feel in the triangle pose and what is the main purpose of doing that posture? Does it give you flexibility or does it give you stability?
Well, it's both, because you first of all you flex the side of your body, but at the same time you have to be very stable with your legs to keep the balance.
Yes. So stability means where we usually find the strength. Okay, where we build the strength, that is your stability in the yoga pose. So in the triangle pose, you may have, if you have already seen video or if you have already done this triangle pose before, so you may have felt like the stretch that comes in your sideways and on your IT band, iliotibial band, on your outer thigh, and your side of the waist, like wherever you are bending, that side of the waist, that side of the muscles is, or that side of the skin is going to flex, and other side of the skin is going to extend or muscle. So let me see how do you do triangle pose, then we'll talk about how are we going to get there. Okay, so this is your triangle pose. Turn your one foot out, other foot turn in. Very nice. So today we're gonna go over to the to the approaches that how are we going to get there. Okay, so first approach is directly get to the posture and feel the stretch over here. Just look at me. The first approach is to directly get there and feel the stretch over here on the sideways and in your IT band. See, alignment of the postures, so they will not have any perfect alignment of the posture. Okay, if you're looking for the stretch over here, then you can do triangle pose like this. If you want to get more deeper into the posture, you will have to bend forward and open up your hip out. But the main the main purpose of the doing this posture is to open your hip out. But if we are aiming to have that stretch only on here, then you don't need to get down too much like deepen into the posture. You just need to hold here. All right. And the second thing about your foundation of your feet in this triangle pose, your back foot will turn in. Okay, your back foot is going to turn in and your front foot will be into the neutral position. So the moment when you're turning your back foot in, your leg has a tendency to rotate that inward. Because your foot is rotating inward, your leg will also start to rotate inward. But here, if you're rotating a foot in, you are supposed to resist this action. If you are rotating your leg inward, at the same time, you have to resist that action and rotate your leg outward. So that, because it's your hip opening posture. It's not your, where we keep our hips square. We try to open our hip like a book. Okay. So that is why when you are doing this posture, always bring that information from the floor to your back leg and then rotate your back leg outward so that your hip gets open, it does not tilt. Okay, it should not tilt forward, it should always be open, it should always be engaged from the tailbone, it should always be engaged from the side wheel. You just not to hold into your joints. Most of the time we usually hold into the joints when we do this triangle pose. So let's do it one more time. So this is your triangle pose. We'll take one leg distance in between our both feet or between our both legs, and we're gonna turn our back leg inward. See, when I'm turning a back leg inward, my leg is rotating inward. It means the tendency of my hips is going to be squared. Okay, but what I have to do, I have to keep my hips open and just sustain this openness right here. While bending forward or while coming up, while standing into this position. So just engage your hip in and then stretch your arms to the side. So now after what I have to do, now go forward towards your right hand. So what is actually like to happening in your front leg or front thigh bone or femur bone is going to get in your pelvic girdle and your back hip will start to rotate in. In the beginning, we are supposed to rotate our leg inward because we want to open up from there. Okay, so in the beginning, we're gonna rotate our back leg in and then stretch your right arm forward. Just go forward, 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 and then place your hand on the floor, on your foot, or wherever it's possible. Then after, and then open your hip out like this. See, this is your internal rotation. Now you're working on that outer rotation of your back leg. The moment when you rotate your back out, the moment when you rotate your back leg outward, so here your hips does not get uneven, it gets even though. So just open up your hip out and then look up high to the ceiling or stretch your other arm over the head. So it's not necessary to reach your hand up. You can always keep your hand on your butt so that you can feel are they stable or not. Okay, so let's do this posture against the wall so that your hips will be even all the time. Okay, take a slight gap from the wall so that you can touch your both hips against the wall. Make sure your both hips are touching against the wall. Just go as close as possible to the wall. Now stretch your arms to the side. Now from there, if you're looking that if you're aiming to have that strength only on here, only sideways over here, then you don't need to rotate your hip in. You just need to keep your hips open, go far forward, and then place your hand wherever it's possible. So this is your triangle pose. But see, you cannot go further down with this engagement of your abdomen or engagement of your butt. With the even hips, you cannot go further down because they need to have bone on bone compression. Okay. So in order to increase the range of motion of your front leg, see, when you're directly bending forward, like to the right side or to the left side, when you're directly bending down to the right side, at the time we do have bone on bone compression that we are supposed to release. If you want to make this deep, okay, if you want to deepen into the posture. So one more time, understand. Your hips are even. You're trying to bend forward without rotating your leg in. Okay, your hips are even. You are open with the hip. Your hips are square to the side of your mat. Now you are stretching your right arm forward, and then you're going to go further forward from here because we do have bone on bone compression. Okay, so it means we are limiting that range of motion of our pelvic girdle. Okay, so first approach is doing this posture in the beginning. You will have that extension over here. Second approach, to rotate your back hip in. Now your hips is square towards your front leg. Now go far forward. Now it's going to be very easy to get down. Now after this, rotate your back leg outward and then open your hip out and then stretch your other hand over the head. And your hips are even now. Okay, so that's how we're gonna do this triangle pose. If you are a beginner, we will apply our first approach. If you are advanced or if you are intermediate, we'll apply the second approach. Did you understand these two approaches?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's do it all together. Just keep your hips touched against the wall. Okay, we will start with first approach. Keep your hips touched against the wall. Now go far forward towards your right hand without losing that touch from the wall, from your hips. Okay, now go far forward towards your right hand and place your hand wherever it's possible. Now stretch your other arm over the head. Now you must be having that stretch only on your sideways. There is no openness in your hips. You are not engaged with your hips. You're just feeling that stretch on your sideways if you are struggling there. Okay, now inhale, come back to the center. So let's go with that second approach. Rotate your back leg in. Keep your hips square. Release your left hip. Release your left hip from your wall. Now go far forward towards your right hand. Now place your hand on your toes. Now it's getting easier because you're creating space in your pelvic girdle. Because this is the tendency. Whenever you're bending forward, it's going to be easier than lateral bending. Okay. Yes. Now just rotate your back leg in and then get deeper into the posture. And then after this, what you have to do, press your back heel on the floor and try to rotate your back leg outward. Rotate your back leg outward and touch your both hips against the wall. Inhale back to the center. Were you able to touch your both hips against the wall when you were bending forward?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, then it's fine. Okay, so did you feel that outer rotation, how you were moving your back leg outward when you were bending completely down? But in the first approach, it's going to be very hard to get deeper into the posture and grabbing your toes and then open your hip out because it's already open. We cannot open it more further out. But in the second approach, what did we do? We kept our hips square And then after we were trying to open our hip out because it was square. So that is going to be easy to open and feel that stretch. Okay. So for the second approach, it's going to be better if you can do. If you cannot do second approach, then it's better for those who are beginners. So let's do this one more time from the other side. You are done with your right side. Or if you want to write down something, you may write. Turn your left foot out, stretch your arms to the side. Now go far forward towards your left hand. Now place your hand wherever it's possible, stretch your other arm up. Yes. So there will be no openness in your hips if your hips are even and you are bending down without moving your hip forward. Okay. So there is no hip openness. But now if you are keeping your hips square towards your left leg and then bending forward, grabbing a big toes and then stretching your other arm over the head. Now you're opening hip out. Now you will feel that extension on your hip joint. Okay, so that's how we are going to do this pose. Okay, Magda?
I've already done 2 sides, yeah.
Yeah, what did you say?
Yes, I understand. I've done 2 sides, yes.
Okay. So that's how we are going to do this triangle pose.
This is actually amazing when you square the hips and then open. Really good.
Yeah.
But everybody cannot do this because maybe they are not mobile from their hip joint. If you guys are already mobile, that's why it's easy and you will feel that nice extension on your hip joint. Okay. See, the main purpose is to keep your hips even. If you're tilting your hip forward and getting deep into the posture, then there will only be that stretch only on your sideways, not on your hip joint. Not you will not feel that openness on your hip pelvic girdle. So did you find any difficulty to get there into this posture? Any other difficulty?
No.
No.
Okay, so let's do now revolve triangle pose. Okay, revolve triangle pose. So how do we do the revolve triangle pose? It's same like a triangle pose, but here we're going to twist our spine. Now step your right leg forward and then get to the posture. Now stretch your other arm over the head. Very nice. Now inhale back to the center. Exhale on the other side.
Is it
Well,
left leg and right hand?
Yes, left leg and right hand. Very nice. Now inhale back to the center and now release. I forgot to tell you one more thing. See, when you are doing triangle pose, make sure your heel and your middle arch of your front foot is in one line. Okay. So if you cannot keep your back heel and front middle arch of the foot in one line, you can always keep your heel in line. If you're keeping your heel in line, you will feel more extension from the beginning. Okay. So this is basically for those who has knock knees. Okay. So if somebody has knock knees, they are supposed to do this with their heel in one line. If they are not in line with their hip, if they do not have knock knee, then it is very fine. It is fine to keep your front heel and back in an arch of your feet in one line.
What do you mean by like feet in one line?
Okay, just look at my feet now. See, these are your knock knees. Okay, when you have knock knees, what are we supposed to do? We are supposed to
rotate outwards.
Knees away from each other. When are we going to push our knees away from each other? When we are keeping a heel in one line. right? So when we are keeping a heel in line, then we can keep our knees away from each other. If somebody has knock knees, then what we are supposed to do? Keeping their heel in one line so that their hip will start to open it more out. Okay. So now if I'm keeping my heel, if I'm keeping my heel and middle arch in one line, this is for those who are normal with their feet. But if you have knock knees, then you have to keep your heel and heel in one line and then go forward and then stretch. Okay. But if somebody have knock knee, like this bow knees, so they are supposed to engage their inner thigh, right? So what are we going to do for those? We're gonna keep our toes and front heel in one line, and then we're gonna go forward and we're gonna stretch. For the normal arch feet, they are going to keep their front heel and back inner arch of the foot in one line. Why? Because see, when you're keeping your front heel and back inner arch of the feet in one line, you'll be more engaged. You will find that flexibility on your leg, but it is going to be more strength one. Okay, a strengthful one. Just understand and do it, then you will understand it better. Because it's all about that body observance. Yes, now go forward. Okay, so this was all for triangle pose. Let's do revolve triangle pose. In the triangle pose, we are opening our hip, but in the revolve triangle pose, we're gonna keep our hips square. We're gonna have that stretch on our outer hip. We're gonna have that stretch on our hamstring and on our back of our knee. Okay, so how do we usually get into this posture? Let's suppose you're doing Ashtanga Vinyasa. From the triangle pose, what do? We swing our other hand up. Look at me here. See, in the revolve triangle, what we're gonna do? We're gonna swing our other hand up and we're gonna turn our back foot all the way. Okay, you have to keep on pushing your back hip forward and complete your hip will gonna get completely square. Now stretch your left hand up over the head, stretch, pull up high, and then exhale, we're gonna bend forward, halfway look up. First stay there when you are in the halfway look up and keep pressing your front heel on the floor. The moment when you're pressing your front heel, you will have a lot of pressure on your front knee. If you're having a lot of pressure on your front knee, you have to always bend your front heel slightly. Okay. So then after we're gonna push our left hand either side of your right leg. If you want to press it inside or outside, it completely depends on you. If you can find the balance outside, you can press your hand. If you cannot find the balance in the beginning, you can always press your hand inside. Okay. Then after, push your hand against the floor. Like push your hand and then elevate your shoulder up. And then stretch the other arm over the head. So against the wall, you can make a couple of fingers and keep pulling up high, and then hold the position as long as you. And okay, Jane, let's do it. If you have to go to the wall. Okay, now turn your right foot out, left foot in, completely in. Yes. Now stretch your left hand up over the head. Left hand up. Hips square, completely square. Push your back hip forward. Keep on pushing. Now exhale, bend forward, halfway look up. And then place your left hand either side of your right leg, wherever is possible, whether it is outside or inside. And then stretch your other arm over the head. Now, if your right hand is on the wall, then press your right hand against the wall and then pull your chest up and find the twisting from the navel center. See, the maximum twisting you will find from the thoracic region, but that twisting should always come from the bottom of your spine. Okay, that is why in the revolved triangle board, basically what do we usually do? We do not, bend. We do not twist from the bottom of our spine. We do not square our hips. We do not bend. We do not bend from the bottom of our spine. So from the beginning, we're gonna maintain this internal rotation of our spine. Now inhale, all the way come up. So let's do it on the other side. Yes, Jane, stay there. Now stretch your right arm up. And then bend forward, halfway look up. Very nice. And then place your right hand on the floor. Now stretch your other arm over the head. Now twist your spine. Keep on rotating your back leg inward. Just close your eyes and feel that internal rotation of your back leg. Just keep on extending and feel that extension on your back of your knee, on your hamstring, all the way around on your leg. Good job. Now inhale back to the center. See, now one more thing we do have in this posture. You have to, now we will do from the different approach. You're gonna keep your one leg, one palm over here on your lower back. Okay, on your hip joint. Okay. Now what you're gonna do? Now stretch your one hand up over the head and then push your back hip forward. See, after this, you're gonna push your hip forward. Let's suppose my right hand is on my lower back. You're gonna stretch left arm up over the head, and then I'm gonna push my left hip forward, and then my lower back and my bottom of my spine is gonna get flat. Okay, you have to keep your bottom of your spine flat, and then you will bend forward, and then you will twist from the thoracic region, not from a lumbar region. Okay, from the bottom we're gonna twist, then we're gonna twist it more further out from the thoracic region. So this twisting always should come from your bottom of your spine, and then after we'll make it into the extend level from our thoracic region. No, your left hand, Naringa ji. Your left hand left hand should be on your hips. And now push your right hip forward. Push your right hip forward. Keep on pushing your right hip forward. Very nice. See, now from here, you have to just keep your lower back just like this. You have to sustain this stability over there. Now bend forward, halfway look up. Bend forward, halfway look up. Yeah, bend forward towards your left leg. Keep pushing your back leg forward. Yes. And then place your hand on the floor. And then stretch your other arm over the head. Now you won't have pain on your sacroiliac joint. Then we do have sacrum. It is attached with your lower, it is attached with your pelvic girdle. So most of the time when we are twisting our spine, we do not bend from the bottom of our spine. Okay, then we do have that, crack on our sacrum joint. So that is why I'm telling you, rotate your back hip in, like keep pushing your back hip forward. Then it's gonna keep your hips square. It's not gonna like twist from there. It should be all the time stable, because we do have stability right there. We do not have mobility. If you're gonna twist from your bottom of your spine, then it's gonna hard to like it may crack right there. Okay.
Yeah.
Did you understand what do I mean while twisting from the bottom of your spine, or keeping your...
And And it makes so much difference, actually.
Mhm.
So
I
much
didn't
difference.
really understand the second one. Is it it's the same like the first one?
No, it's a different one. It's twisting. The before one, before we had triangle pose, extended triangle pose. This one we do have revolved triangle pose. In this we are twisting our spine, but before that we were not twisting our spine. And for the beginners, if you are doing this against the wall, this will give you more extension. If you're gonna teach somebody, then make sure you are doing this against the wall. And if you find partners, then you can also push that practitioner against the wall so that it's going to be extended more out. Okay, let's suppose I'm doing triangle pose over here. Okay, I'm doing triangle pose and then opening my hip. So the teacher is gonna push my right hip out. He's gonna push my shoulder back, his shoulder also back, and I'm gonna feel the nice extension. If I'm doing revolved triangle pose, what he's gonna do? He's gonna push my left shoulder against the wall, other shoulder against the wall, and then I will find that nice twisting from my back outer hip. Okay, did you understand?
Yes.
Yeah.
He's gonna push you against the wall. So this is how we usually adjust or we modify the posture.
So do you think our shoulder have to be on the wall as well, as much as possible?
Yes,
Onto the
if you can touch your shoulders against the wall, it will be more intense. If you cannot touch, this is also fine. Or either you can use the block. If you have blocks, you can always use the blocks because while using the block, you will get height from the floor. Once you get the height from the floor, it's gonna be very easy to get the support and find the stability into the posture, and you will not fall over. In the revolved triangle pose, basically we usually fall over. So that is why we're gonna use the block, and then we're gonna push that block against the floor, and we're gonna pull up high, pull up high, pull up high, and then reach our other arm up.
So revolved triangle pose is like putting one hand on the here and then going down.
Yeah. Yes. The opposite hand, alternate leg.
Alternate hand. Okay.
Okay, so one more extension we do have in a back bend. I forgot to tell you yesterday. So let's do that one too. Okay.
Yeah.
If you're looking for the external rotation of your chest or external rotation of your arms, what you're gonna do? We're gonna keep our one hand over here against the wall. Take a one arm gap against the wall. Just look at me here, okay? I'm gonna push my hand against the wall. Then after, I'm gonna rotate my shoulder back. Just rotate my shoulder back and then keep your left hand here underneath your right shoulder. Okay. After this, I'm gonna pull my chest up. I'm gonna keep my hips square and then I'm gonna look forward. So this is the external rotation. Actually, what I'm doing here is like this. I'm pushing my right hand against the wall. I'm rotating my hand outward, and I'm gonna like keep my hips square to the right side and holding here into this position. Okay. So this will give you nice extension in your thoracic region because we are also bending from our shoulder blades in this position.
What is it called?
This is your extension of your shoulder blades, shoulder socket, and your arms. No, you have to stand up, Magda. Yes. Now keep your right hand in the shoulder level against the wall. Very nice. Okay. Now turn your face. Yes. Jane, turn your face to the to yes, this side. Now from here, rotate your head outward from the top of your humerus bone, top of your biceps bone. Rotate that outward and keep your left hand over here on your sideways. Okay. So now rotate your hand outward and then open up your chest. Turn your feet out. Just look at the camera now. Very nice. Yes, Jane, rotate your hand and then turn your face this side. Turn your whole body this side. And rotate your hand outward. Rotate that outward. See, if your hand is like this, you're going to rotate your hand outward, and then you will have that extension over here. If your hand is like this, you have to rotate it outward, and make your fingers pointing down towards the floor. Yes. Now pull up high, chest open, and then look front, very nice. And then stay, look front. No, you have to stay, Magda. You don't have to roll, you have to stay, okay? So let's do it one more time. Keep your hand on your right hand against the wall. Now rotate your hand outward from the top of. Make sure you're rotating from the top of your humerus bone, from the shoulder. Rotate it outward, pull up high, and then look front. Look to the left side, Magda. Yes, just look at Nariga ji, how she's doing. She's doing very nice. Just look at her, how she's doing. Like she's facing to the camera and her hand is like all the way extended out. Yes. And then pull your chest up. Rotate your hand outward. Very nice. Open up your chest and press and hold, Magda. Hold.
Stop. So don't go round fully. When you turn your chest, stay there.
Stay there.
Turn slowly. Stop.
Stay. And look front. And press your hand and move your hips back. Do not move. Push your hip forward. Walk your feet back. Walk your feet back. Very nice. And stay. Now press your right hand against the wall. Press your right hand. Try to keep that arm straight. Keep your right hand straight. Push and then hold. Very nice. And hold. Okay. So this is gonna give you that nice extension on your shoulder socket, and you have to hold here as long as you want. In the back bend, this is gonna give you more extension. Okay, Naringa ji, she said thank you to you. Okay, so let's do it from the other side. Rotate your arm in, open up your chest, and roll your shoulders back. Very nice. And push your hand. Do not bend from your lumbar region. You have to just bend from your thoracic region, from your shoulder. And then look front. And then open up your chest. And one more thing, why we are rolling from the beginning. Like we have to sustain this rotation from the beginning. Okay. So that is why we are rolling from the beginning. Otherwise, we can take our hand forward. Sorry, we could take our hand back and we're gonna look forward. Okay. So if you're rotating your hand outward, this is gonna give you that mobility from the shoulder socket. Okay. So from the beginning, we have to sustain this engagement in our shoulder. If you're doing just like this and extending and look front, this is not gonna give you the same extension with what we are doing before this one.
Do we need to look straight or do we need to look up or left?
You have to look forward.
Forward.
And is it the same movement for bridge?
For the bridge pose does not have this extension.
From lying on the mat, no?
Okay. Well, that wheel pose. Chakrasana.
Chakrasana is the same because we rotate, we open.
Yes, the same. See, if you're doing wild thing, just look at me here.
Yeah.
Wild thing like this one.
Yeah.
From the downward facing dog, we're gonna take our one leg back. We're gonna push our hand. Again, I'm gonna rotate my hand outward.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then like this. Okay.
Yeah.
And then again rotating my hand inward. Again pulling my hand outward, and then fold. Again moving back. This is your wild thing, and that external rotation of your arms.
Actually, it's really good because a lot of people don't understand how to do the wild thing from three-legged dog. So that exercise that you just showed is amazing understanding of how to rotate
Rotate.
the shoulder. Yeah.
So just keep on rotating your shoulder, then you will understand everything about that. If you're doing camel pose or other pose like if you want to make 90-degree angle, or if you're doing other thing like bow pose. If you're doing bow pose or dhanurasana, this is also going to give you that better understanding in your shoulder socket.
Yeah.
Okay.
Very good exercise.
Yes. So what are the contraindications of this posture? Who are not supposed to do this triangle pose?
Can you
Have
repeat
any-
the question?
Like whoever has severe knee problem, they are not supposed to do this triangle pose. If they want to do it still, then they are supposed to bend their front leg at the knee, because we have a lot of pressure in our front leg.
Yeah.
And others, scoliosis people, they can do this posture. If they are twisting their spine, then it's not supposed to be done for them. Okay. So if you're lengthening your spine, if you do have twisting too in the triangle pose. If you're doing this is fine. If you're opening it just too much out, and then you're twisting your spine, now this is not good for those, because we're supposed to lengthen our spine this side, not twisting. Just lengthening your spine to right side, not twisting. Okay. Just keep on lengthening your spine. And if you have lower back pain, still you can do these poses, this triangle pose and revolve triangle pose. This will give you nice extension.
Mhm.
Okay, if you guys have any question, so you may ask now. Yes, Rekha ji, do you have any question?
Is there a good book to refer for yoga alignment? Which one will you recommend?
And see, in yoga alignment, they do not talk about movements. They will just talk about how are we going to get to the posture, because the alignment is going to be different for different people, because person to person is going to be changed. Okay, it's not gonna same. But in the alignment book, they will just talk about how we are gonna get into the posture. Let's suppose if you're doing triangle pose, the alignment of the triangle pose is going to be like this. You have to keep your you have to maintain the one leg distance between your both legs. Your front leg should be straight. Your back leg is going to rotate outward. You're gonna grab your leg and then straighten your other arm over the head, lengthening your spine, not sink your sideways. You have to pull up high. You have to maintain this parallel line from the sideways, and rotate your hand outward. Just like this. This is gonna be alignment of this triangle pose. But the movement of the body is not going to be discussed in that alignment.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
But they will also talk about benefits. Yeah, somewhere they're gonna help you out. But most of the time we have to understand what are your limit, what are the range of motion that you should follow, and till with what extent you can go further. No worry, keep on practicing yoga, then you will understand better that what is going to be the alignment of the posture. Okay. Everybody cannot do that deep back bend. Everybody cannot do chakrasana. But in order to get there, what are going to be the techniques, what are going to be the drill that you have to make by yourself.
Great. Yeah.
Okay, so this was all for today's session. Okay, so let's finish. Sit in any comfortable pose and close your eyes. Let's chant together one time Om followed by 3 Shanti. Take a deep breath in. Om. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Join your hands together in front of your heart center. Bend your head forward. Open your eyes while blinking. Namaste to everyone.
Namaste.
Enjoy the day and
Namaste.
evening. Bye bye.
Thank you.
See you tomorrow. Bye bye.
Bye.
Bye.